This is Digital Soul.
As your boy Big Reub, and we are the Purple Brothers. All right, on this episode of the Purple Brothers, we are diving into our second installment, which pertaining to singles, most notably singles from the Super Deluxe album Sign of the Times back in 1987. So right now we're going to wrestle with I Can Never Take the Place of Your Man. Now, we all know the 87 version. Well, a lot of us didn't know, and I didn't know, that Prince recorded this back in 1979. And back then in 79, when the second album came out, most of his songs was all pretty much falsetto. And so to hear him, and it's like his regular voice, you know what I mean? It was just kind of a trip. So for those who may not know about the 1979 version, here's a snippet of it.
It was only last June when her old man ran away. She couldn't stop crying because she knew he was gonna stay.
And
don't waste your time.
yeah, it's different, right?
I know what's on your mind. Let me stop.
Yeah, obviously Digital Soul is not a singer.
Hey, I ain't Prince.
Hope you're not.
Never.
No.
I cannot play 27 instruments. No, I cannot. I can only play one.
He plays one, he plays the keyboard. No, I see you on the congas too.
Oh yeah, I play quite a few things, but not 27.
And for those who never heard of the 1987 version, here's a snippet of that as well.
Asked me if she wanted to dance, and she said that all she wanted was a good man and wanted to know if I thought I was qualified.
So, Digital Soul, out of the two that we have here on the Super Deluxe Sign of the Times album, I Could Never Take the Place of Your Man, which one is your favorite?
I still like the 87 Sign of the Times version still, only simply because the ending, the guitar solo, that takes it home for me. That part of the last 3 minutes of I Could Never Take the Place of Your Man is just epic, man. Just, the whole guitar feedback coming back, and then when it breaks down at the end, he just takes it real low, and it's just him just kind of doing that jazz thing on the guitar, man. I just kind of dig that. The 1979 version is dope, though, because as you mentioned, man, I remember reading an interview where he said he wasn't comfortable singing in his natural voice at that stage in his career. So pretty much the first 3 albums were all done, like you said, in pretty much a falsetto or the high voice.
Right.
So for him to hear this, it's amazing to know that he actually attempted to do something in his natural voice, and it sounds good. And the shit is like, for the year that it came out, it sounds like that new wave. It fits. Like I can just imagine if it was on Dirty Mind, as nasty as Dirty Mind was as an album, I can actually see it fitting on that album because of the whole sound, the drumming, just the new wave feel of the era. That song, the whole, the cars, the Gary Newman sounding, melody of the song is really, really catchy, and I can see why he resurrected the song years later, decided to revamp it and bring it back to life, because it's just a cool song. And he changes the story in the later version, which he says she'll try, but on the 1979 version, he says I'll try. So the story is a little bit different.
Right.
But nevertheless, I still, just because the guitar outro on the 1987 version, that kind of just takes it a bump up for me. It's my favorite version.
Yeah, I'm totally in agreement. I was just happy that we had another version of it, to reference, and
Hmm.
it had that new wave feel. It could easily slide on the Dirty Mind album. It could have
Yeah,
slid on Controversy, honestly, but
yeah,
Controversy still had, it was more funk. So
yeah,
this song probably will have fitted the mold of Dirty Mind a little bit, like you
yeah,
said. But to hear him sing in 1979, his natural voice was like, it was dope to me. Um, Changing the narrative of the song, like you said. I still think it's funky. I like the way he was playing the drums on the 79 version, but there's nothing like the 87. It's just like he graduated, and like musically he was already like expanded, you know what I mean? So his mind was just in a different stratosphere as far as his musicianship. And it really, paved paved the way for the Sign of the Times album. Especially that song is one of my favorites. I love the music video. I love the music. And like you said, in the last 3 minutes of the song on the 87 version is just so profound. I even like the version on the Sign of the Times movie. So you can't go wrong with either version, but 87 really showed his musicianship and the maturity that
yeah,
went through from 79 to that point in 87. So I have
yeah,
to go with the 87 version as well.
yeah. Yeah, it just amazes me, man. Like this guy was just like a mad genius. Like just think about it. He was what 20, 21 years old when he recorded this song, and he's done this so many times in his career where he's done a song, shelved it for whatever reason, and then 5, 6, 7, 8 years later he'll go back, revamp the song. He did it with this. He did it with "Can't Stop This Feeling I Got" on Graffiti Bridge. That was like a song recorded, I think, back in like '80 or something like that, like a long, long while back. "Raven to the Joy," fantastic. That was a really old song before it officially came out. So it just, it never ceases to amaze me that he does these songs and he decides to resurrect them later on, or bring them back on later albums, and they still fit on the albums, or they sound even better than when he recorded them. Not that the earlier versions were bad, but the fact that he's able to bring them back to life later on, because that just goes to show that a lot of times he wasn't dated. With a lot of musicians, songs can be made at a certain time,
Right.
but try to bring them back years later, they won't fit. They're dated. But with a lot of Prince music, you don't get that feeling that it was ever recorded 5, 6, 7, 8 years prior. You always think that it's a new song. So it's really amazing that he does that.
Yeah, man. It's both versions of dope. Can't
Hmm.
go wrong.
Absolutely.
I'm just happy. And I know we made mention on earlier videos about what was going to be next as far as the deluxe stuff when 1999 came out, and I think we made mention of Sign of the Times, and I am going to be really extremely happy to have this in the collection because there's just so many songs, so many versions of from records that's been bootleg that we heard, and to have 63 unreleased songs, bro. I mean, the state is really just stepping it up, and I appreciate it. Now, it makes me wonder, okay, what will be next? What will be the next deluxe? Will it be Diamonds and Pearls? Will it be Parade? I don't know. So it makes for great theater, and it just makes for us as Prince lovers, Prince heads, to really have some great music that we probably wouldn't be privy to. Even Prince said in an interview, I think he was talking to the brother from, I think it was Stephen Hill, um, back in musicology interview. He was like, what are you going to do with all that unreleased material? Or will you ever put it out? And he said, well, at some point, somebody's going to put it out.
Hmm.
So he knew that probably he was always a forward thinker with the music. And he never really wanted to go back. Wherever it was in that time and space is what it is. And that was it for him. So it's unfortunate that our guy is gone, but at the same time we get to hear some music, man. So I'm excited about it. Are y'all excited too? What'd you think
We
about,
are. We are.
you know? How do you feel about I Could Never Take a Place to Your Man? Which one is your favorite? Is it the 1979 version or is it the 1987 version? Well, drop us a line, leave a comment, subscribe to our channel. And as always, we thank you, we appreciate you. And until the next time, you know what it is. Purple Brothers, baby.
Salute. Peace. Thank y'all again. Thank you.
Yeah.